Okay guys, so I took two trades today, and one ended up in loss and the other was a missed entry, and that missed entry actually went to my take profit. So in this video, I'll be taking you guys through my market recap for today. So let's start with gold. So gold started the day, it's a very greenish candle before breaking structure to the downside. After that, I waited for a second reconstruction, but I couldn't find a valid supply zone to sell from. This would have been the zone, but I didn't really trust it, so I just had to let it be. So price finally changed character here, and this was supposed to be the demand zone. Now the reason I didn't take this trade was because the stop loss placements would have been so large, even if the take profit target was still very close to the range. The drawn liquidity is this level. It's the stop loss still seems too much for me to take, so I just stayed away from it. But that's it on gold. You guys should like the video, drop a thoughtful comment, share it to everyone you know. Then most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification button. And when you're done watching the videos, you can go ahead to watch any other video you see here. They are all nice. Join my Telegram community. Follow me on X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. So back to the charts. Going over to EURUSD. On EURUSD, I didn't really get any entry because price wasn't too favorable. It was just choppy. So we had this break of structure with a change of character, minor change of character. Now there wasn't any demand zone here, so I didn't take the trade. It either came back to change character. We can see here everything was just wiki. So I stayed away from it. Change character again, and here didn't have any valid demand zones. So that's how I stayed away from trading EURUSD. Now on GBPUSD, this was where I got the missed entry. So we had a break of structure to the upside and change of character back to the downside. Now price broke structure, but it wasn't a very huge break of structure. It just closed a little bit below this level, this support level again. So I see marked it as my break of structure, but I couldn't take any sell because there wasn't a valid supply zone to sell for. So price changed character and finally had this small retracement down to, I think I can call it the 75% level. Yeah, in between 75 and 50. So it retraced there and broke structure to the upside. Now this was where I marked out as my demand zone, and you can see that it just made a very just if I don't even know how to call it, a peep away from the entry before it moved into my direction, and it was very painful because I had already taken a loss on USDCAD. We'll come back to that. But what I was initially marking out was from this point, and the reason I didn't mark it out was because, first of all, in my previous trades I was taking very huge. I was trying to cover a huge area, making my stop loss large. So I decided to just slim fit it very well, and this was the level I was placing my stop loss below, so that at least there will be more breathing room in case price just comes to weak here before moving. So that was why I targeted there, and my take profit would have been around this point. Now you can see that it didn't even touch it. It didn't go all the way to that point. But luckily for me, I didn't take the trade, although I would have closed it at maybe 1 point around this area, because once it gets to evening, I always take close the trades. So the point is that I decided to reduce my entry to this point, and that was how I missed out on the trade. But we keep learning every day. On AUDUSD, I didn't really get any entry. Just had a break of structure to the downside before price changed character, and then I couldn't find a demand zone to buy from, so I left it. Price came to liquidity and broke structure to the upside. After breaking structure, once again there wasn't any demand zone to buy from, especially as this week was here. There was no way I wasn't taking a trade even if I had seen a demand zone. So price retraced to around that same 75% level, and then I don't know if I'll even add 75 and 25% level back on my Fibonacci. Yes, this should be the 75% level here. So price came back into that zone and then broke structure to the upside. Now I would have marked this out as my zone to buy from, my demand zone. But the reason I didn't mark this out was because part of my rule states that the demand zone or supply zone must have the candle that is breaking away from it in a very strong manner, like this. Now this was the candle that broke structure, so this is supposed to be a valid it's supposed to be a very valid demand zone, which price actually came and reacted off of. But the reason I can't take this trade, because I have another rule which states that my demand zone must be below the 50% level. And if I'm to take an entry here, my stop loss will always be at the invalidating level, which is below this point. So the trade would have been invalid, because there's no way price is going to go all the way up to Valhalla to take my target. Anyway, on NZDUSD, this was what happened. Nothing really happened here. Just price broke structure to the upside and then changed character down. I couldn't mark this out as my supply zone because, one, it was indicated by this week, and secondly, the invalidation was here. So there's no way I'll take an entry and my validation where my stop was placed to be here. Lastly, I didn't take any trade there. On NZDUSD, nothing serious. I think so. Over to USDCAD. Once again, like the video, drop a subscribe button if you're enjoying my content. Rather, drop a subscribe for me, sorry. On USDCAD, you had a break of structure here to the downside after price moved initially bullish. So he changed character to the bullish sense and then made a retracement all the way down to that same 75% level. So this was an inefficient price action. So it's changed, broke structure to the upside, leaving behind this demand zone. Now, I didn't take this trade because if I placed my entry here and my stop here, my take profit would have been around this point, which is way above this drawn liquidity. So I didn't take the trade. Now, the one I took was this one, where price broke structure again after this retracement into the 50% level of this particular price range. You can see it here, it came into the 50. So this was an efficient price action. So I marked this point as my demand zone from this bearish candle to this point here. Took my entry. My target was before the week high, my drawn liquidity. So it was actually an A+ setup. But as the market would have it, it took me out and changed character to the downside. And ever since, it kept on broken structure as it moved bearish. So nothing to learn from there. My psychology was top notch, risk management was top notch. So it's just, I just took it as the market having to take tuition. Finally, on USDCHF, this was what happened. A break of structure to the downside, they didn't take a trade. Price accumulated throughout the whole of Asian session. I think even all the way to the beginning of London session. Just kept on accumulating before it broke structure at around 9:45 for the second time. Now, this one wasn't forming any valid trends or new ranges. So I just marked this as the full leg. This is from here to here was one full leg. So heading into New York session, price finally changed character to the uptrend with these massive green candles, and then it just broke structure in a very minute fashion at 5:30 heading into the close of the day and changed character down again to around 7:45. Since then, it has just been accumulating with low volatility and low worry. So that's it on all the pairs. I only took 2 trades today, one on USDCAD and the other on GBPUSD. Or rather, I took 1 trade and missed 1 entry. So the GBPUSD was the one I missed and the USDCAD was the one I lost. Anyway, we go again tomorrow and hopefully we see favorable price actions. Thank you guys, and once again, like the video, drop a thought to comment, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification button. Join my Telegram channel because I always drop all the entries before they play out. You can see it here. I dropped USDCAD before it started, even halfway through, as it was seeming like it was about to hit my take profit. It's reversed. Same thing on GBPUSD. I dropped the trades and then it went without me. So I always drop all my trades on my Telegram channel. If you want to follow me there to check out all my trades, follow me. Follow me on X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again later. Goodbye.